Watson and PC don't go bad. This is watching Walking Dead and shit.
No, you didn't hear?
Yeah, that's shit.
No, I said you haven't heard?
What?
Negan's gonna be in Tekken 7.
Oh, yeah, of course I heard. This show was that fucking... That shit is so stupid.
They always have guest fucking characters.
Yeah,
Did they
it's
have,
fucking ridiculous.
who they have before? Didn't they have the Noctis from Final Fantasy 15?
Yep.
Well, they sticking Final Fantasy characters in Tekken.
Shit is so stupid.
Those fighting games always do that. I remember Soul Calibur had Darth Vader, Yoda.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Link. There was one where they had Link. The one for Nintendo. That's what it was. The one for Nintendo had Link. The one for Xbox had Vader. I think the one for PlayStation had Yoda. We were going through her equipment. That's what it was.
Like I said, eyes, lungs, pancreas, so many snacks, so little time.
What?
I said eyes, lungs, pancreas, so many snacks, so little time.
Who says that?
Venom.
Oh. You talking about the trailer?
Yeah.
I said it in the comments.
Both your arms, then both your legs, and then eat your face right off your bed. Will be this armless, legless.
I don't really know his quotes. I only know one quote. Fucking shaking that stir.
It's to do be this armless, legless, faceless thing rolling down the street like a turd.
You all excited for the movie?
In the wind. A turd in the wind.
That Venom movie though?
Yo, that's the sickest part. That nigga opens half his mask up to see.
Alright, so
Obviously, to have Venom fighting like street level niggas, like
it's supposed to be like
Yeah,
yeah, well, I think the villain's supposed to be another symbiote or like a symbiote army or some shit.
Supposed to be Carnage.
No, Carnage is not in it.
Together we are Carnage.
what's really gonna challenge this nigga?
It's not Carnage. It's some other symbiote. Some other symbiote name. It starts with a T, I think. I forget.
Now, if you had Spider-Man in there or some sort of,
You
you need like some sort of like someone who needs powers.
What about
Taskmaster? The nigga has a symbiote, bro. Someone
Riot.
needs powers.
That's the name of the symbiote. He's fighting Riot.
Riot. I guess I don't really know that much about the fucking Venom mythos.
There's a bunch of symbiotes now. Like I remember it was him, Carnage, and what's the one that took over the cop?
This is
Was the
That was the one that took over the cop? Lethal. That was it. That was it. It was just Carnage and Venom for mad long, and then Carnage ended up having
So the Venom,
between Carnage and Venom, they were like the parents of fucking Lethal. And Lethal was, obviously, fucking genetic whoever is trying to fight them. So they had to team up. Fight Lethal had taken over a cop. He was a good cop too. He didn't even take over a bad guy. He took over a good guy. That was it. 3 symbiotes. Now apparently there's like an army in them shit. It's like there's more than one. Riot's one of them. I don't know.
Juggernaut.
It's a symbiote on Juggernaut.
Yes, you We're gonna symbiote on Taskmaster.
Oh my god. That's not even funny.
Symbiote on Cat.
It's actually pretty scary.
Cat will fuck Spider-Man over the other symbiote.
Alright, last we were doing is her equipment. I don't think anybody was Anybody was trying to equip Belt of Physical Perfection +4. I think everybody has one, or close to it.
No, we're getting the same gear now. This same game.
God, yeah, Zion.
Yo, does she like sprout tentacles? What the fuck?
Yeah, you missed the fight. The last of the fight last session.
Oh, he ain't
Hell of a
shit.
fight, man.
He ain't
Hell of a fight.
He ain't missing.
Claudius had to bust out some form of ultimate spell combination just to fucking,
You miss
not even to like take her out, just to like debuff her hard enough so that
You miss
rest
Ray
of
to making us fill up so we can die.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
What?
I know what you're talking about, man. I'm sitting there.
Yeah, don't mumble into the mic.
I was just saying, we missed some questionable decisions by our leader.
Talking about Leyland?
No, I'm talking about related. Did I say a name? Nigga, damn.
You said our leader. I mean, you said our leader.
Vindicator doesn't have a leader. We're all one.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, right.
We don't have a
Played have been leading this shit since before you came along, level 11, and has been leading it since you came along.
You ain't even know the leader. You're just a nigga that think he in charge and lets you make decisions.
I'm the one that makes the plans.
Nah, nigga, you be the one that complain about the plans. You don't make the plans to complain about. That nigga say, listen, I'm leaving this group.
Why don't we take the argument in character so Valadin can actually put you in place like you're supposed to? I really don't want to do out of character. I want to do it in character. Do you actually feel that way?
Nah, I just want to
Okay, alright. Because I don't believe like, let's go. There's a rat right there, son.
That's what's a troll?
No, this is. Don't let me take that smoking eye out your eyeball right now. Give me that snatch out.
I'll smash your smoking eye.
What's his name? Sustio Uchi, what's his name?
Shizu.
See, there's a Coca Charisma +6.
That goes right to Neds. We need that.
I think he already has one.
About to be the new leader. I get my charisma to 16. How we almost there?
I'm done.
This nigga, you know the low charisma, son. It wasn't with these charismatic situations.
That's right. You have a mantle grandiose protection. Yeah, Elena already has one. Why? Might as well put it on. He can't anyway.
I don't know.
Unless he wants to drop his saves by 5.
That's fine. Fuck it. It's only saves. You don't care about it anyway.
That's only saves. This guy that barely had to use an action point to stop himself from being turned into a fucking mole rat.
Well, if I had my 2 levels of power, then like I want to, I would never have to worry about that. But apparently you didn't want that. But it's okay to drop him by 5.
It's okay to drop what?
It's okay to drop him by 5, but when I take 2 levels of paladin, then this nigga could be deployed. We can't play +30 everything. What are you gonna be doing everything?
I don't know what you need paladin for.
Not that one. I was just trolling you.
Gods would be like paladin.
Yeah, he's already seen.
There's a ring of regeneration.
The shitty one. No.
What does that do?
It does nothing good. So you don't.
Oh.
It allows you to. Is it trolls
You heal your level every hour.
Yo, God, Watson, you say it every time that you ask that question. He said, "This is control generation." He's like, "Oh, it's almost like a troll. It heals 1 HP every hour." I think you can be
Heal your level every hour, and if you ever lose a limb, you can
Yeah,
Grow it back.
Unless it's the one with the fucking ring on it, then you're done. Then it should just
Right.
I don't need that.
Unless you lose the hand with the
you
ring.
put that shit on like your toe or something.
So,
You don't know you got it on.
What rings is Cynthia?
so ring of protection +5.
Stand.
Huh? Who? No, I'm saying she had 2 rings. Frazier.
Oh.
She has a ring of protection +5 and a regeneration.
Almost level 20 and don't got 2 rings on.
Oh wait, not a ring of protection. Not a ring of protection +5. She has the fucking ring of the 13.
Oh yeah, she got one of the keys right now.
Yeah.
She's evil.
I mean, it does give +5 to deflection and AC, like, but it has other shit on it too.
Yeah, the evil shit.
Wait a minute, so all the Ring of the 13s give different things?
No.
Or are they all the same?
No, they're all the same. +5 deflection bonus to AC, constant endure elements, non-detection, protection from good.
Why else could wear it, right?
Non-evil. Get a negative level if they wear it.
So I'll put that one on too. So far, how many of the rings do I have on right now?
I mean, you put one on. You already have one on.
No, I was putting on the other ones too. No one else could put them on. No one else could wear
So
them.
you're just putting all these
Putting them all
13
on.
the ring of the 13
On the same hand that I'm hitting them with, yeah. I'm hitting them with their rings every time.
I'm all the
I'm all you together. Come back for the soul of my son.
so many rings put together, a vortex of power.
I'm fucking Hal Jordan right now. So you think I'm playing, yo?
Wait till
Relax, bro.
Wait till that demon come back and say, I see you have our rings on. Possession.
Only evil people can use the ring of 13.
Huh?
Yeah, look, any more rings? You know, Metzler has one ring on.
Ring of 13.
What about the ring? I keep.
Only evil people can use them.
Yeah, if you're not even use it, you gain a negative level.
So wait, somebody has a negative level?
What if you're non-good? Same thing?
Yeah, same thing. You have to be evil.
Damn it. Silly, son. The way Cynthia has a negative level. When did Cynthia put on one of those rings? Please tell me, Darren.
Yeah,
So there's several of those rings. What do those rings, what abilities are they giving you?
constant endure elements, deflection +5. If you're not evil, you use it.
Constant, yeah, there are elements, non-detection, protection from protection from good, and +5 deflection bonus days.
And if you're not evil, you use 11.
Ring.
You said regeneration too?
Yeah, there is a ring of regeneration.
Yeah, okay. Well, I only got one ring on those.
Well, I think I know Claudia's claimed the rod of giants something greater.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, any of the rings out there? I only got a ring of sequestrance on, like I ain't never had nothing else.
She has a +3 stunning surge speed flail. And
I'm not gonna use that. So
Flail is a simple weapon, right?
I use it as one choice.
The clerics are traditional flails. But then again, Cynthia's not going to chew the flail over her.
flail's a martial weapon.
Over her staff.
So I used to never say I haven't had anything that's so I had a ring that is worth 2K. And that's it. My whole career was one. I had one ring my whole career. It was stingy with those rings.
What are you talking about? What rings?
Yeah, I got one ring my whole career. That's it.
You only got one ring?
Yeah, you didn't know that? What other rings you ever see?
I don't know what to tell you. Fucking.
Every time I try to give one, niggas be like, "It's like, are you wearing it? You go, nah, you can't wear that one."
The ring of regeneration is right there. Why don't you put that on?
Nigga, I heal 10 HP around. What the hell am I doing with that?
True. It's still a powerful ring. Like, it's a ring of regeneration, for crying out loud.
Just in case you lose a limb.
The only reason why I haven't taken it is because I literally have a ring that would allow me to stave off any effect that happens to me. I need that ring to at least finish out. You know, I only have 2 more charges on it, but you know, like that shit needs to be on, bro. Like that could stop any shenanigan for at least a round. I need that shit.
I mean, okay, I'll wear the ring of regeneration. Whatever.
If it wasn't
it
for
has
that,
nothing
I would
to
have
it.
put that ring regeneration on the heartbeat.
Why?
Regeneration.
Think about it.
Because it saves you time.
If you,
Save you
the only thing that's good for him is if you lose,
If you lose the limb.
if you lose a limb.
This is it. It's just gain limb back ring. That's it.
My best sword, even if he let's say he lost his left arm, it still doesn't gimp him. He can still do full attacks.
Right, he still takes the ball.
He's stuck.
Without 2 hands.
He's stuck.
Still
Chun-Li.
Yeah, you'd have to cut off like all my arms and legs.
cut off all. He could have 1 leg.
It still gets you.
It's still dangerous. Flurry blow his head and that knee and leg,
Shoulder.
shoulder.
Yeah, I don't need that.
Two people with the back, the butt, whatever.
Yeah, like, let me get you like
The back, the butt.
I guess I'll wait for a ring of the fang.
And of course, one of the other treasures that's been acquired is the Shield Guardian.
Is there any other rings, Louis, that you forgot to mention?
She ain't got shit that I can use.
Are there any scrolls?
Yeah.
That's what I want to get down to, baby.
She did have
The
scrolls.
spells we do not have to cast.
Brothers tell me maybe his spell to
We're looking at that level hand.
Scroll collector motherfuckers.
She did have scrolls.
Dude, we haven't gotten a spell book since we were level 12, I think.
I'm telling you, son, I walk around looking like a fucking library, son.
Just waiting for the
Scrolls
spellbook.
everywhere.
There are Cagewrights with spellbooks. You just haven't.
Literally never seen him.
90% of the spells I got is because
Just haven't come upon them yet. They hiding like real wizards. Like fuck
Niggas
this.
got their spellbooks hidden on a different planet.
It's be like 4 new spell
For real.
like that.
I know about that Arcturus trick.
For real, them wizards are
Hide
like.
your fucking spellbook under the planet and
These
shit.
wizards are like, hey, let me get my spellbook that easily. Fuck this shit.
Something
You
that
may
shit.
have beaten my ass. You ain't fighting my fucking book. Oh shit. You're better off capturing a wizard and fucking ripping the information out of his head somehow. Where's your spellbook? Where is it? Where's your spellbook?
I got time for that, yo, enchantment. I'm like yelling and screaming.
That's if you already have some like external knowledge from someone. Oh, this is some obscure spell that only this person has. But if you don't know that, then, people will just make the assumption, probably generic spells that everyone has or whatever.
Lewis, does this stag every time they hit you or not? Check this out.
Oh my god.
That stag every time it hits you or not?
Where's Drift happen? I've seen this. It's ring steal once per day.
About to give
Once
me
per
a-
day. It just says once per day is a swift action.
Oh, never mind.
Because every time that would be fucking cheesy. For 8,000, or every time you hit, they get a 42 save and take strength damage. No, it's one per day.
So about the scroll.
Yeah, about the scroll.
Let's
Let's see. Maybe I should get a ring of energy resistance. Sonic.
It's about those school.
A ring of the mighty wallow.
Nah, he would never let you make that.
That's why I wouldn't need audience no more. He can just go solos. That's
Yeah,
how
a ring of 3 wishes, maybe.
She had
I never want that. She was like,
she had one scroll on her. Two scrolls. They were divine scrolls.
maybe a ring of friendship.
One scroll has what do you call it? Heal. Freedom. Another scroll has mastery.
Who's that? Someone?
Yeah, Claudius. Let's make Claudius. Let's
Something
do
like
one.
that.
What scrolls did the wizard have?
Oh. I think we went over her
one's
equipment.
over here, son. Low life
Where's
sustain.
her? Hold on. The rear body. Could have swore we went over her shit. Here we. Oh, we did it? Thought we did. Alright.
She got away, remember?
No, he took my rear body.
Yeah, revive.
She got one shot in.
No, we never divided
Dino
her
fucking
shit
killed
up.
her. No, you never divided the shit up there. She had 2 fast endurance potions.
I never noticed he got some really crappy rings.
She had amulet of intelligence +4.
Mm.
She's wearing a magic item called a beholder crown.
Oh shit.
Now rear body also has she also has a third eye, like an implanted third eyeball in the center of her forehead. She's been known to having
Orbis must have been having a good time.
so she's known to have like an obsession with beholders.
She was sucking that dude, Lord Ravash, off.
Mm-hmm.
Sucking eye stalks, my
You're
nigga.
sucking the eye stalks?
So she had this crown that was like all shaped like a beholder with a gem in each of the 10 eye sockets.
Yeah, I bet. What a overfeed she
Now
had to do to get
each
the gems.
gem can be used as a swift action. It's a 30-foot ray. One has Charm Monster, one has Charm Person, one has... They basically mimic all the effects of the Beholder. But once they're used, if one of them's used, like the gem disappears. So if you use all 10 eyes, then it becomes a useless item. She has a meta magic rod of Silent.
That's pretty cool.
Up to it's a normal one, so it's up to 6 level spells.
Oh, shit.
She has a robe.
You know you got some good shenanigans with that, yo.
Cast Silent.
Yeah, just silent on the area effect on one of the casters. And the caster just walks around with that rod, just doing whatever. But it would probably be Claudius, because Claudius doesn't have to cast too many spells. Since you don't have to cast that many, it will be beneficial.
It's up to 6 level.
I think that ring of.
How many charges that has? 3?
Yeah,
3 charges?
3 charges.
So that means like in a silence area, up to 3 spells up to level 6 can be casted, right?
Yep.
There you go. So if you know you can end the encounter in like
Yeah, that
3
would be
spells,
good.
you can throw up a fucking silent zone and then fucking let off 3 spells in the silent zone to lock down the
He's got a
spell cast.
collection of meta magic rods.
That's it, son.
Collection shit.
That's like a combo.
She's wearing a robe of resisting enchantment, which gives her a +5 luck bonus to saves versus enchantment spells. She's wearing a healing belt.
Well, we definitely need that.
She had a ring of mind shielding, +2, which immune to detect thoughts, discern lies, any attempt to magically discern her alignment, and a +2 deflection bonus to AC. She was wearing a vest. She was wearing a vest.
Deflection always stacks, right?
No,
No.
stack.
No, which one flex? Nameless bonus?
The only thing that nameless, dodge, and
Oh, dodge. That's what it was on.
and circumstance if they're from different circumstances.
So I'm looking at this. Ain't no really good ranks for monks. Whatever.
Something else stacked. It was unnamed, dodge, and circumstance.
That's what I thought.
I
Snap.
thought there was one more. She's wearing a vest of free movement, swift action. 3 times per day, you get freedom of movement for 3 rounds.
Claudius, which one? You need that? One of the classes needed.
She had a vibrant purple prism Iron Stone. Stores 3 spell levels. As a command word, you can use the spell that's stored in it. The spell or spells that are stored in it. She had 3 true strikes stored in it.
Damn.
Wait a minute.
It's a free action?
Command word. Command word, but same time as the caster. Same time That's the casting time for whatever spell is in there. So if it's
This is True Strike. It'll be like a standard action
yeah,
to use it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, too bad I don't got the Fang ring.
She has a ring of sea invisibility.
Oh, well, let's do that too. Okay.
Ring of Sea.
You know what? Maybe I'll take that.
That's what I'm saying.
I know this guy's always
Yeah.
have
Oh,
problems with
well.
invisible creatures.
Yeah,
You
you always
can,
have it.
you can see invisible creatures, astral creatures, and ethereal creatures and objects within 130 feet.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, with that and your decanter, you basically see it.
What's the how long is it? So is it?
It's just on. It's on continuously.
Oh shit! Yeah. No, it's in my sight. In my sight.
Guy was just when I get a ring, what do you do? Oh shit!
I don't have a ring. There you go, man. Got a ring.
He just said that right now. He just making that shit up.
No, it's not me. It's been on. He said I just made that shit
He
up.
just not said there's no good ring for months.
Mm-hmm.
Very
That's a mage ring, but I'll take it.
That's not a mage ring. A mage don't need a mage because it's simple level 2. I got scrolls.
It's a fucking really good utility.
Oh, hell, I need a ring for that.
See, there's no astral any fear. You start seeing ghosts of it.
Right, you can see basically the full spectrum.
You start seeing ghosts and spirits and shit. Like, what the fuck is that?
What I need is just
Ethereal creatures appear slightly hazy and unfocused. She had a wand of magic missile, casted level 7 for 30 charges in it.
Yeah, give us some more pelting power.
So she shoots 4 missiles.
Yeah, so that's good now.
Yo, Claudius, you gotta take that vest, yo.
And she had 4 scrolls.
There's a vest that
Arcane scrolls.
there's a vest that she has that gives you freedom of movement.
Oh. I mean, if you want it, you can take it, man. It's fine.
Do you have something that grants you freedom of movement? Because you're the one with the most get out of jail free cards, and you're the highest level master.
I got a spell. I mean, if I got the spell, then yeah, I'll be in trouble. I guess it's good to have a magic item.
I mean, Cynthia would rather you have it.
He usually has Heart of Air on him. Yeah. Usually has Heart of Air on, which I think. Oh no, that gives you Featherfall. Which one gives you freedom of movement? Oh, the Heart of Water.
Heart of Water, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he usually has that. So if you ever needed freedom of movement.
Oh, never mind. If you could grant it to yourself that easily, then I guess you'll take it.
That's fine. Like I said, only if you got the
Either
spell.
one of you, I would say either one of you better. I mean, because Cynthia has it as a spell.
Yeah, she got the spell, and
She
Claudius
casts it herself, and it lasts like fucking
forever.
Is it 1 minute or 10 minutes, bro? So crazy.
So wait, what do I see right now? I see ethereal. I see.
If there were astral ethereal creatures in the area within 130 feet, you would see them.
Damn, 130 feet is pretty dope. And then I got my dark vision, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And low light vision. I mean, the man's got all kinds of vision.
She has 4 arcane scrolls. One scroll has greater dispel magic and stone to flesh, cast at level 14.
I'll take that.
She also has a prismatic spray scroll spell on a scroll. Another scroll has Odaluk's Resilient Sphere. And another scroll. Yeah, these are all arcane. And the last scroll has Lesser Globe of Invulnerability.
Why ain't everybody copying my abilities?
That's a very common spell. That's a goal.
No, it ain't. Never heard of it.
I'm thinking the arcane scroll.
Never heard about it before this campaign.
You copy and paste to this so I can just like grab it from there from the chat.
Yeah.
So I can put it on my sheet.
Nah, you could just put it on my sheet and mail it to me though.
Thank you.
Yo, Lewis, what is this continual ring? I never seen this. I'm looking for this and Googling it. Don't say ring of sea invisibility.
The greater the spell scroll, how many scrolls are those? It was just one?
Of what? Which one?
The greater the spell magic scroll is just one or seven?
It's just one, and it has both those spells on it.
It says it doesn't reveal illusions, though. Is that true?
Might have to have Cynthia like describe a few of those for me.
No doubt.
So no, it doesn't reveal illusions, though, right?
Why would it?
I was just nigga, okay.
It sees invisibility. It doesn't. It's not true seeing.
So, well, nigga, I'm seeing into the ethereal plane now. So I was making sure.
It's part of seeing visibility.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, you want to know what book it was? It was actually in an adventure book that I use on the Crescent Moon. That's how they got to level 21. It was City of the Spider Queen. You know, the adventure that Gabriel didn't participate in.
Busy getting abducted. His brother never came when he decided to go kill spiders while my brain's getting taken over on the fucking machine, man. He said, "I'm gonna kill you fucking back." Fuck that.
Gabriel fucking disappeared. Where the City of Spider Queen.
You too, what's your piece of shit? Nigga, you was my brother too. Fuck you.
Took you a while.
Yeah, you fucking.
Yeah, there it is. It's only 15k ring, yeah. Ring allows the wearer to see invisible astral ethereal object. It does not reveal illusions or creatures that are simply hiding or concealed. Ethereal creatures viewed from the material plane appear slightly hazy and unfocused, but the wearer can otherwise see details. Alright. I don't think I was able to describe the room you guys are in. Just jumped in. You guys teleported in and just jumped into the fight. That's what happened. Shackled City. Number 9. Oh, no, wait. Number 9. So the room you battled in, Serpentine Hall, where there are the 4 innermost pillars of this chamber, bear lit torches in serpentine sconces. The flickering light casts sinister shadows upon the walls. Of course, none of that matters because everybody's surrounded by fucking light sources anyway. Some of the pillars are cracked and crumbling, revealing slick black stone beneath the plaster murals. Murals depict masses of writhing snakes and Yuan-Ti clad in black robes and golden armor. As you survey the place, one of the northwest pillars bears a mural of a masked pureblood Yuan-Ti priest, dressed in black robes, wearing a golden coronet. In one hand, the priest clutches a green viper, and the other hand is outstretched and has an eyeball set to its palm.
General knowledge revision to see if I recognize the priest.
Are you describing a statue?
Describing a mural that was on one of the pillars. This pillar
Okay.
over here, actually.
Pretty cool. Oh, okay.
Circle. Knowledge religion. Yeah, I get. Go ahead.
Later got a 11. Yeah, 32 total.
He's not sure. Go back. He can tell that it's not exactly a priest, although he's definitely a worshiper of. Does he pick somebody who would serve at the temple as a worshiper of Mershulk? But he's unable to tell who it could be, especially considering that the mural shows somebody who's masked. Although the appearance and the attire bears a resemblance to Sithar Basha, the Cagewright that you had just defeated. Here's roll up. Your perception's high enough. You also notice that the eyeball in the center of the outstretched palm of the mural actually is not just clever use of paint, but it actually can be pressed in like a button.
So Liam transfers to the group and he says, seen this mural here while I was trying to figure out who was in it. Seems like there's a button here. It's in the shape of the eye that Sithar seems to be holding. Seems he thinks very highly of himself.
Well, spot check moves?
What?
I don't know. You roll. Just check.
Just
Make sure we ain't missing nothing.
Just searching.
Alright.
At what Vallejo's looking at, or are you just going around the room?
No, what was Lena looking at? Just see if we missed anything.
No, you don't notice anything different other than the eyeball and the palm of the hand of the picture. This can be pressed like a button.
So Liam goes, I'm almost positive that this will be trapped in some way. It's very easy to spot. Claudius, would you mind doing the honor?
I love you.
The mic's like right there though.
You guys hear Matt?
Yeah, I ain't on Claudia. He was like, Claudius, you mind doing the honors? And then Charlie disappeared. Niggas getting a soda.
Beer, what the fuck?
Oh, that's Antonio.
You guys hear me now?
Don't
That is beer. What the fuck?
Don't trouble Masterclass Mage Claudius with this. I'll open it. That's why I hit the button.
Antonio's actually roped.
Oh, we hear you now.
He's like, he actually drinks.
Alright, Nez hit the button.
I think he should get drunk.
Then I'm drinking while I'm going.
Hello?
Oh, you're real.
I hear you.
Yeah, we hear you now.
Oh, I thought you guys didn't hear me already.
Alright, so I stopped Mez. Can I stop Mez and go, it doesn't make any sense for you to press the button. We have a shield guard here that's perfectly expendable that can press the button for us.
So Claudius,
I didn't think that far.
I could
Claudius
shoot the
does a
button from a safe
check
distance.
to make sure there's no mundane trap or mechanism, and also with the aid of his arcane sight to make sure there's also no magical trap as well. So he searches it out.
The mentor stands right next to him in case he has to cover him, because he knows his old body can't take too much hits.
Lamb just goes and stands next to the shield guardian. The shield guardian press the button. Press the button, the shield guardian. Click. Done. Okay.
That shield guardian.
Oh, the shield guardian does it.
Oh my god.
No way. The shield guardian is serving as Claudius HP buffer now.
Oh, God.
Any damage Claudius takes, the
Yeah,
golem.
oh, you can deactivate it. Well, they do it.
I don't want to deactivate it. Rather he gets destroyed than Claudius. That's his job.
No,
right?
that's what I'm saying. Like, turn off
Lewis, couldn't I shoot it from a safe distance?
the pillar.
The button.
Like the button?
Oh, are you talking about with
Which that D, the scooch, or was it?
Like scoot unattended
unattended?
object.
But it's not
No,
an
it's
unattended object,
utility. Yeah, it's not.
It's really made to move like
It's made to
disarmed
move
weapons
an
or something.
object. Yeah.
I mean, but you like moving the button down though.
If
Claudius has
anything, you fucking sundered that shit, do damage to the button.
Right. Damage the button. Now it won't
The
ever
button has
open.
nowhere to go, really. You're not scooching it, you're just shooting it.
Is there a trap or something that needs to be disabled? Claudius can do it. I don't hear anyone.
Really, you could do this with a mage hand. Why are we having such trouble with this?
Oh, that's what
Yo.
they. Yeah, that's what he asked Claudius to do. If he could just search for traps or whatever.
Yeah. You guys are tripping, son. You guys okay? Please worry about what
We
button.
didn't know what this trap was. Like, it might as well be a safe
I don't
distance.
even know if it's a
I just
trap.
asked niggas to look, see if there's any traps.
No, he's saying to look. Somebody search to see if there is one.
I'm asking for the
But I already
niggas with the
said that already.
supervision.
Claudius made a perception check. He could find traps. It's a class ability. On top of that, he has arcane sight.
Lewis is Claudius see any traps.
Claudius doesn't detect
And
it.
that's when presses the button. He's like, all right, there's no traps. I'm pressing the button.
God, dude, how long we been adventuring? Has there been a trap that Claudius has failed on? No.
That's a
He
really
has
good point.
detected. He's like, I mean, it might fail now, but he's been 100% on point with every trap.
Now,
I take no chances.
after Messor presses the I button, the entire pillar begins sinking into the floor, dropping about 25 feet, revealing a secret vault underneath. It stops descending once it becomes flush with the floor of the secret chamber below. Top of the pillar contains a visible stone plate. Stepping on it would cause stepping on the plate causes it to.
You're lagging.
Who, me? Hello?
Yep.
Yeah.
I am. Here.
Is it just me or do you guys hear?
I think it's
Yeah,
you.
we hear him.
Nah, I hear him. I've been hearing him. He's been talking.
It like froze out for me. I didn't hear anything.
Oh,
Let me load, I guess.
can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Take it. Fix the heal scrolls.
All right, it's working good now.
All right.
So what you said a pillar open.
Oh, I said the pillar drops 25 feet as it sinks down, revealing a secret vault underneath. It stops descending once it becomes flush with the floor of the secret chamber. On the top of the pillar, you can see a visible stone plate, which, if stepped on, would cause the pillar to go, to reascend back up to where it was before. But yeah, it is a sunken vault beneath the room you guys are in.
Why the eye?
You have a smoking eye, a pressing eyes, there's all eyes all over.
Yeah, but Sithars is not. There's nothing here that shows that they're worshiping. Um, what's this dude's name again? Ali Marcus. There's nothing here that's showing anything related to Ali Marcus except for this one thing with the eye.
No, that's because this whole temple used to be
And
a
this temple
to
predates like
this
their
temple used to.
relationship with Ali Marcus, so it can't be that he put that eye there because of a relationship to Ali Marcus. It's not the
No,
smoke
all
eye.
this is old. These are ruins of a temple from centuries ago by Yuan-Ti that worship
I'm
Mershal.
actually role playing though.
That worship Mershal.
I'm role playing. I'm talking.
No, I'm saying why it doesn't make sense he would ever come to that conclusion since the temple has nothing to do with Ali Marcus since the beginning.
Right. No, this is me playing Bladen reasoning out loud. He's saying why did Sithar choose the eye as like
Something
a
to
button to
something to
press?
hide.
Yeah. And then we're just talking out loud about it, and then Metsuwal was saying maybe it has something to do with the smoking eye. And then Bladen was saying
I got
can't be
confused. I
because
was like, oh, okay.
you're just role playing.
Stop getting confused on the record, though. This is my thing. Speak loud. Unless you're Cynthia. That's not okay.
Fuck up.
So it opens up so the thing like the way I imagine it is like the wall falls away and then what does it reveal? Like
A secret vault beneath the floor. I said that.
Secret vault?
Secret chamber.
Is there a lock on the vault? I'm picturing like
No,
a
it's a
vault
chamber,
like a door.
like another room down.
Oh, like
okay.
Another room. What's going on?
Chambers.
Gotcha. If you said vault, I'm thinking like where you put like things in it and lock it up.
Like a chest. That's what I do.
Get down there, Messor. Go investigate.
But we got a big ass light source.
Since I have my new eyesight, it's better than your arcane sight.
Let's see down
there. Metsuwar goes in first.
Wait, is that a map of the vault? Yeah.
You have a map of this one?
To the left.
To the left.
Everything you want, to the left. To the left, don't you ever give a second, get to thinking, irreplaceable. How the fuck did Drama get there that quick? That bitch was already in there, son.
She's the fastest person in the party.
You think so?
No, she's not. Messor is.
Oh, the fastest flight person.
Yeah, the bitch was already in there, just like, hey guys, I teleported. Is she really running?
This 15-foot square room contains 4 statues.
Son, this is a trap. I can see acid bath is coming on us.
Contains 4 statues in the alcoves. So there's a statue,
Why are we all going in?
This is a trap, son. Look at this. Dude.
Whatever.
The statues depict half-blood Yuan-Ti warriors with humanoid bodies and serpentine heads. Each statue holds a stone chest in its claws, and the front of each chest is carved with a demonic face.
Mm-hmm.
Looking them over, you can tell that the statues are handsomely carved, yet they're not magical. The stone chests are actually part of the statues, but they can be opened. They're fitted with a locking mechanism. And the southern chest has a magic aura on it, conjuration. Probably that was magically trapped. So yeah, looks like a treasure vault. That's it. 4. Southern one has got a conjuration magic aura.
Alright, so Claudia goes to the party. Don't touch anything. I'll get to work and try and open these chests. So he goes to the magical one first?
What if they're one of those chests that eat you, though, Claudia? Didn't you tell me about those one time?
And, with the disable device, you can also disable magical traps too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, so he crosses his casts his cantrip. Forgot the name of it. I haven't done it in forever. The one that gives him +2.
Deafness.
Yeah, deafness. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, Mitsuwar investigates the corners. Or is there any hallways or anything while he's doing it?
No, I just said each of the alcoves has
Oh, just have a statue, right?
there's a big statue holding
Yeah, well, Mitsuwar investigates this top
holding
statue.
each one's holding a treasure chest that's locked.
Mitsuwar's just looking at it like, He's gonna hop on this thing's shoulder, this giant, sit there and start drinking.
Alright, so he's gonna go with the magical one first, the one they
What's your
perceive as
disable device?
+37.
Can't even fail on a 1. So you successfully disable the trap, and successfully open all the all the chests.
I'm the magical one. Look at the
Locks.
That slip, son.
56, yo. I'll do it like.
Yeah,
That's the rogue, son. AKA Archmage.
Walking around the room, just like he looks at the mechanism for like a second before you see Claudius just go to work, and then he's done.
His record precedes him. That's 100% success rate.
And the way you guys know, like the way he works on, those chess masters like that Bobby Fischer movie where they're moving man fat the chess pieces shit. He does that, but with like all sorts of locking mechanisms. It's just
all skills, no magic. All skills.
Yeah, but those skills are boosted by magic.
Yeah,
because those skills are affected by your stats.
Oh, if he uses
if
he does a deafness, yeah.
No, he has something that gives a +5, and then like let's say his glove is dexterity, but even without all that, he would have gotten a 46.
Yeah,
with no magic.
Your intelligence is enhanced by your magic too.
That's
also adding to your score.
That's not intelligence. That's dexterity.
Oh, that's dexterity.
If that was intelligence, that would be like 86 right now.
So one chest held about somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 platinum pieces in it. That was about somewhere between 10 to 20,000 gold pieces worth of platinum in there.
Money they stole from the city.
The northern chest contains a bunch of gems, agates, which are semi-precious stones, carnelians, also semi-precious, some deep green spinels, violet garnets.
Money they owe us for rebuilding the city they destroyed.
2 white opals. And a magic gem that is it's a fire elemental gem.
A fire elemental gem? You see the fire elemental like inside the gem? Pissed off trying to get out?
Well, if you break it, it summons a fire elemental. It's like a summon monster.
Oh, that's Claudius right all over right there.
And can Claudius do a spellcraft to see how powerful the elemental is out in there?
Yeah, actually probably weak as a Joker.
Is it like an elder elemental or something like that?
That should have 3 hit die, my guy. Good luck. That should come out as a fucking flame. Little candle.
I doubt it. Probably high level.
You expect it to be strong?
Strong enough to be a good distraction. It could never be as strong as like Claudius' actual spells.
I think I'm probably having maybe like 6 hit die.
Well, we were just fighting elder elemental heirs. Maybe it's similar, but fire instead. More like 2 of them. Or 3? Was 3? No, 2.
There's elemental gem, fire. When it's crushed, smashed, or broken, a large elemental appears. It will be a large fire elemental.
Yeah, that's like I think it's like less than 10 hit dice, right?
Yeah, that's strong of an elemental.
So like 6 hit die.
Southern.
That was one off.
It could be used as a scout, like to set up traps and stuff.
The southern chest, which was the one that was magic trap, contains an interesting magic item known as a serpent's eye, and it's sitting on a green velvet cushion.
Oh, the Vecna eye, son. Chill, bro.
You anti-artifact?
It's the Harmonizer in there too.
You anti-territory still, right?
Inspect the serpent's eye. It's a 2-inch diameter spherical black orb. It has a golden slit-like bane, giving it the appearance of a reptilian eye. When grasped, the serpent's eye will allow the owner to use foresight as the spell once per day. It originally has 50 charges when created. This one has 7 left, I think. Yeah, foresight. I think we have the charges.
So that pillow that was on, it was on a what?
It's on a green velvety cushion. Yeah, cushion. Yeah, fucking pillow for your bed. 7 charges. So.
All right.
Yeah, 7 charges on. Basically, you can cast foresight 7 times.
All right.
And yeah, it's a 9th level spell.
Wow.
Lasts 10 minutes per level. Or you use it on yourself or somebody else. Grants you a powerful 6th sense in relation to yourself or another.
That was the 8th level. That's 9th level?
9, yeah. Once cast, you receive instantaneous warnings of impending danger or harm to the subject of the spell. You are never surprised or flat-footed. In addition, it gives you a general idea of what action you might take to best protect yourself. And gives you a +2 insight bonus to AC and reflex saves.
You can do it on another person too?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm
So
going to
let me
use
get this straight. It had 50 charges, and someone used up all of the charges already.
Somebody used up.
This shit has been around the world, son.
This shit.
Well,
At 50, somebody used this shit
Damn.
43 times already. No, if you use it on yourself, you're never surprised or flat-footed.
All
The
right.
spell gives you a general idea of what action you might take to best protect yourself. So that's very broad and generic, meaning in a certain situation, I gotta be the one to be like, well, like if I were to advise you on what you should do with your character, like it would be legit with this spell on. Like it wouldn't be like, oh, the DM's helping you. Well, that's because you got a spell where the DM has to help you. That's why it's a 9th level spell. It's like, how do you get spells so the DM can just fucking.
What's the caster level? 18.
And it gives you +2 insight bonus to AC and reflex saves. If you use it on another creature, you receive warnings about that creature. You must communicate what you learn for the warning to be useful, and the creature can be caught unprepared in the absence of such a warning.
Well, we have Larry Bond. It works perfect with this spell.
Yeah. Shouting a warning, yanking a person back, and even telepathically communicating, there you go, can all be accomplished before some danger befalls the subject, provided you act on the warning without delay. The subject, however, does not gain the insight bonus to AC and reflex saves.
Or the subject doesn't get the...
No, it doesn't get the...
So basically, the caster, if he casts it on another person, he'll just be aware of anything that might happen to that person?
Yeah.
And could he shout, like as a free action? Let's say, like, initiative. He's not surprised. He could let everyone know.
Oh, yeah, if you telepathically, yeah. You can shout it or telepathically communicate it, yeah.
Wait a minute. Does it have does a target say allies only, or can you cast it on your enemies too?
Or just another creature is the subject. You can cast it on another creature.
Yeah, it has to be an ally, like it will negate swarms.
Well, yeah, you could do it on an enemy, but they get a will save. If they want to.
So if you did it on an enemy, then
you know what dangers are coming.
You would know what dangers are coming for the enemy. Meaning you would know if what you're doing is going to succeed or fail. Because it wouldn't be a danger if it was going to fail.
But it has a chance.
Right. But now you know there's a chance. And things that you know that there's no chance of, basically allows you to save your actions in a way.
So if you did it on the enemy and then you're about to cast a fire spell on them when they have fire immunity and nothing goes off.
Right. You would know that, that person's not in danger, then there's no reason to do this.
Because he doesn't see my fires as a danger.
That's fucking dope. You can use it backwards to automatically kind of figure out at least process of elimination.
Well, assuming the enemy knows what you're casting. They don't know what you're casting. They're just gonna assume anything you cast is a thing.
Well, it's foresight, so you know ahead of time before you do it. Like if you wanted to do it, the DM has to tell you. Well, there's no danger in that for the creature. Dude, that's fucking dope. Are you kidding me?
That's probably why it's it's a saving throw.
That's OP. I cast foresight on you. I know exactly what bothers you automatically.
Well, assuming they feel they will say it.
Assume it. But come on, it's an actual spell. If I'm casting an actual spell on you, I'm making it fucking stick. Trust me.
Well, it's from an item. Remember, you're not putting the DC from intelligence or wisdom. It's just a straight up item.
Let me tell you, my friend.
It's not high.
That's true. That's true. But I'm saying that the average person casting a spell.
It's just DC 19. That's like what DC 19. Even Valena himself just need probably like a 2 higher to pass.
When you bring me back to the reality of the item, then yeah, it's.
Dude, it's DC 19, man. That's to pass.
But if we're talking about in the scope of just casting that spell.
No, if Claudius was casting it himself, yes, the DC will be ridiculously high.
Oof.
But it's an item. It's better off using an ally.
Yeah.
We could cast it on everyone here, actually. It has 7 charges and 6 of us.
Right.
And Claudius could be like the main, link, the one that's aware of everyone. Because he could easily just tell people, you're about to get, impaled by this spike, this, that, whatever. Hey, we're fighting our harsh nemesis. I think this is freaking glitch. Might as well use this powerful artifact level item on all of us now.
What's crazy is you could do stuff like that, and then in the same token, even if with foresight that fails, you can still alter fortune.
Yeah.
Like, no, motherfucker, reality will work the way I want it to. Well, some Doctor Strange.
This works perfect with Irish telepathic bomb, man.
Yeah.
Claudius is gonna come.
We honestly got rid of like one of the only niche classes that has like the weirdest ability to fuck up telepathic communication. Like very few things do that in the game besides Summoner. Weird as fuck.
Right. And they have to be aware of it. It's not like we be telling people our secrets. Oh, we always telepathically communicate with people. No.
I'm pretty sure the Cagewrights know that we do by now. But like the ability to interrupt it, like just it's something summoners have access to. So it was like just coincidence, honestly.
Yeah.
Because not too many things in this game do that. And I was like, when a summoner popped up, I was like, oh, here we go. I know what's gonna happen. Not too many things even like communicate to you.
How many apprentice occasions? How many occasions an apprentice do we still have at large?
Let's scroll down the list right quick.
Also, is there a way that you could divine through aid of Elmater?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Let us know if they all happen to be in this vicinity.
8. 1, 2,
the problem with that
4,
would be
5,
the reason
6,
why that's
7.
not going to work is because the Cagewrights that are still alive still have their rings on. If they still have their rings on, then they won't be able to be located.
Oh, there's 8.
Not located, but if they're just like in this vicinity, in this mountain.
Oh, they'll be here. There's nowhere else to go.
Elmater cannot provide divination or augury or one of those kind of spells?
Oh, if I have a divination for that? I don't have any prepared, but I could look through my scrolls and see if I have the most, try to see if I have anything divination there. But for something in the Cagewrights, I probably want to bust out like an 8th level spell, but I don't have any high level divination prepared right now. I just have stuff prepared for combat.
Everybody stop Zino bleeding.
Oh
yeah, that's right. You did heal him magically. I remember.
Oh, okay. I was making sure because the nigga's HP is all fucked up. I was trying to roll heal checks on him.
They're trying to counter niggas out here.
We should heal your wound.
Should we look up to
I'll leave that for the healers.
Alright. Well, your characters are free to roam.
What? There's nothing else in that room, right? So
No,
we have to.
that was it. Well, an elixir of hiding. That was it.
Oh, I'll take that. Are those the things that I always use? That gives you +10 to
Yeah,
stealth?
it's like +10 competence to stealth or something like that.
Yeah. Don't I drank one of those already, right? It's still active, right? Yeah, I'll replenish that. Those are good, man. Like 200 GP, I think, right? For that. I'll take that. All right, so I'm trying to determine. Let me see. Before we leave, since we sort of have like a few seconds of safety here, I want to see if there's a divination spell that we can have.
Isn't there like 2 more Cheshires?
That's what I was doing, looking up divination stuff.
Isn't there 4 chests?
I might have some divination
Yeah.
spells myself.
I already said what they all had.
He opened only 2 of them.
No, all 4 were open.
Oh, okay, no.
I'm gonna drink a potion.
One had coins, one had gems, one had an elixir of hiding, and another one had serpent's eye.
No,
Where you could do foresight.
no, I know what that does.
Let's see. Okay.
I'm gonna take your moderate.
All right, fix your moderate. Heal 17.
Yeah, Cynthia did provide as much information as she could about the Cagewrights, even though they had all those rings on. And she has all the information that she got for them. She provided. As for whether they're here right now, the only way that would be possible is if we to secure that information would be to pinpoint the magic, which we can't do with their rings.
Before we set out to this location, did we have like reliable intel that most of the Cagewrights were here, all of them?
Yeah, we did because we got it from T-Rock. T-Rock told us himself that they were here before we bodied them. Yeah.
Did he mention did he mention that maybe some of them weren't there by any chance?
Well, he wasn't specific. You know, he was talking that shit, but he told us that P's basically sent there with his guys as a mission to secure all the treasure there and body us, and that they were waiting there for him to return for all the treasure.
Got it.
They were waiting for T-Rock to come with the treasure. They didn't expect T-Rock to
So
come.
the major players should be here then, and the leader as well. What was the name of that leader? The Dermagon with the 2 heads.
You talk about Dewey?
Yeah.
Dewey. I'm not good at pronouncing names.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be here as well, right? And I know he's like the mega boss of the
Yeah,
case, right?
supposedly they were just waiting for T-Rock to bring all the treasure so they could use that treasure to do whatever the fuck they were gonna do. And he was supposed to body us there.
No, he said it was his gift. All that treasure there in that cavern, that was their headquarters.
Oh, okay, my bad.
That was where they stationed. They set up at. They basically took Hookface's fucking lair and treasure as their own, as payment for the Cagewright. Basically was like, here, they kill Hookface, but we found this treasure before and cavern before anybody else did. You guys can have it as your reward. T-Rock was like, cool. You guys basically didn't know about any of that. Showed up at Hookface. You all had the idea. Hey, let's go find fucking Hookface's lair. You went there and you're like, oh shit, T-Rock here.
Yeah. He happened to be there. Yeah, it was coincidence.
So
basically, the heroes and villains had the same idea with different uses. Both were like, well, Hookface is gone. What do we do with this shit?
So I guess it's no guarantee that they're all there.
All right, so
but where else are they gonna take the fucking souls?
This is their hideout.
There's nowhere else for them to take the souls.
Your characters
we did all the research that we can, and this is the only place that it can help.
Or your characters learn this is their final hideout. And then.
Yes, that's what I wanted to know.
They're here. Chances are they're all here. If not, you've already taken down 5 of them. There's only 8 left.
All right, so that's
Ali Rod is still around. I don't think we faced him.
All right.
We haven't faced Al-Urad. He's the black guard.
You got Alura.
All right.
We
So
got Al-Urad still.
Claudius
You got
goes to the
Theory.
party.
You got Imbraya, who was originally the highest priest of the Temple of Souls Passing. A priest of, not really a priest of Jurgle. She was actually a priest of Sirik in disguise as a priest of Jurgle.
All right. So let me. I want
Then
to.
there's the two elven lovers, the Drow elf, Beardon Darakor, Eldritch Knight, and then you have Kainahin Winterstrike. She's the arcane. She's an arcane archer, and you still got the Xokek, who's a Shadowkai soul knife, and then you have two more caster types. Well, Bria's obviously a caster, she's a cleric. You got two other casters, they're arcane casters. You got Theron Louvel. His apprentice is a powerful sorcerer, quadrant imp named Zarthix. Theron is a wizard, and he's their arcane artisan as well. He's the one that makes all the magic items.
Winter Strike's an archer.
Well, makes most of their magic items. So he's an extremely powerful wizard. Actually, more than Theron.
That's the Demodon, right?
No, Theory it is. And Shibboleth. Shibboleth is
So Claudius looks at the after he opened that.
She's a cleric.
Shibboleth is the archivist.
Archivist.
Well, he's an archivist. He's the Cagewright's lore master. Powerful archivist who's guarded by these constructs known as Griskolds. And he has an apprentice who's a
as Claudius
staunch supporter and cleric
protected by conjuration effect, he looks at the snake eye relic, and after examining it, making sure that it's safe, he acknowledges the abilities that this magical item has. You see a quick smile, glimmer on his face. He looks at the rest of the group. It looks like Timora has blessed us today.
Well,
the deity of luck surely favors us. This effect, this spell that I will cast on all of you, you will all be interconnected to me, and I'll be able to, any danger that might befall any of you, I will know before it even occurs. So even if I'm not able to do something, at least I'll be able to give a heads up and a warning. There's a very powerful spell effect that even I myself do not have the mastery yet to. So this will aid us. This will be a great boon.
This is a magic that precedes even your understanding.
Let's put it this way: it involves more with luck. I tend to deal more with logic and a little bit of some luck here and there, some randomness. But yes, this is definitely a spell that I quite fancy.
Sometimes
as a gambling man myself, surely whoever created this spell was guided by Timora.
Wait, to my understanding, such magics of such a high magnitude cannot be contained in simple baubles and items. So how is it possible that such a powerful magic exists here in an eye? And you're able to do it on all of us at the same time?
No, it's once a day.
It has originally.
Wait a second. Wait. Hold on. I'm getting confused. Wait. Time out. I'm confused.
All right.
I'm confused. I'm
All
Philippe.
right.
I'm talking to Claudius, and then like I asked you a question, and then I heard like this weird voice came out of nowhere. It was like, no, wait, what? I'm like, wait a second. Are you role playing? Is that Cynthia that
No,
said
I think
that?
I heard Claudius say you can use it on everybody. I'm correcting him.
Oh, you're correct. Okay, all right. I don't know. I can't tell these days.
Well, Timora is of the Halfling Pantheon, I believe.
Sometimes luck is all you
See,
need.
this is why we can't role play because Darren likes to troll randomly. So your character is not that good that he would say that.
I was
He's not
saying, he
that
actually
good.
has ranks. If
Let
he
me
wouldn't say such stupid shit.
Nobody believes that, yo.
I mean, technically, he's right. He's just not. What's the what? He's not articulating it.
Isn't she though? I thought she was. At least I remember.
She's
that.
believed. The halflings say, according to the halflings, they say she's part of their pantheon.
Yeah, see, oh, thank you, son. This woken eye man. Why don't you
But
relax?
Everybody knows.
the humans worship Timora. Timora is actually a split between her
twin sister, right?
her and Bishaba.
See, look at that.
Bishaba's the goddess of unluck and misfortune and accidents. So like way back, the two of them used to be one goddess known as Taiki. And Taiki's actually an interloper deity, as in she's not a native to the Forgotten Realm. She's a deity from another.
And I'm gonna have to reset my computer.
She's a deity from another pantheon. She's a deity from the Greek pantheon.
I'm casting old spells on you guys. Taiki's touch. Y'all niggas still ain't getting it.
But she split forms. So you got Timora, and you got Timora, who's the goddess of luck and adventurers and skill. And then you got Bishop. Now, Timora has been adopted by halflings. So you see a lot of halflings that worship her because they believe that she's actually a halfling goddess. They believe she's a halfling goddess that the humans are... Like, she somehow tricked the gullible humans into worshiping her. So...
Yeah, that's what they say. Timora was a halfling goddess. You should love her. Looking at you...
Everyone knows the story. He's of the belief that she is a halfling.
Wow. Alright, well, since you're the birther inclination, I'm gonna go ahead and
What the fuck? He went and snagged the
garbage cans now. Well, I've just been drinking the front. This is my first of your little things I've been drinking. So if there's any missing, that means
Oh no.
you're white.
I was just no, she doesn't drink this. I drink these.
Oh man.
I drink these so I could like.
So William says, I'll choose not. I'll choose. This is not the right time to challenge your religious beliefs, Metsuar, but let it be known that I stand opposite of what you believe. That Timora is definitely not a halfling born.
I guess we're all entitled to our opinion. But she is the lady of the face of fun.
Well, moving along.
Don't you shut up, me, Watson. But yes, moving along. Continue as you are.
Anyway, yeah, Claudius is. Y'all interrupted Claudius with your religious. Oh, he cut out.
He had to restart.
Oh, okay.
So that's why me and Watson will continue debating about the lady whose domain is trickery.
All right, I'm back, man. My computer was lagging big time.
Welcome back.
It sounds good now. I don't see nobody skipping or anything. Video.
Perhaps Timora is with you.
What I miss?
So basically, Valentin was asking how is normally he's used to spells like wands where you can only put a certain level of spell in it. So he's asking how you're able to How are they able to take ninth level spells and put it inside of something that they can just keep using?
Well, Mitchell doesn't know any answers to that because he don't know magic.
Yeah. So Claudius goes like, well, usually wands, the max spell effect that you could put on any wand is just up to what we spellcaster consider spells of the 4th tier or 4th magnitude. However, this item here is quite unique. It actually is a vessel, a receptacle, might you add, that will actually hold a spell level, may you say, that's of the 9th magnitude. The mightiest of spell that even an archmage could cast. So at this moment, Claudius does a little arcane, spellcraft to see how it's actually like, is there like any special like feats that you need to be able to create that item?
So Metzor says, so it's
yeah, just craft one this item in a foresight spell.
Metzor says it's like a really more powerful version of my decanter.
Hold on a second. So it's just craft wondrous item. That's it, and you can create an item that could cast 9th level spell.
So Palladium brings up.
It only works once a day, but yeah.
So Random asks you. So
you thought you could use it? No, it has 50 charges, but once per day. So once per day, you.
Oh, I thought it was like a wand that you could use it. I'm like, wow, this is
Oh.
a unique item. All right.
I thought so too. I had to reread it. I was like, man.
Okay, I was about to cast that
I
spell
thought
on
so
everyone.
too. That's why I was asking. I'm like,
I'm saying, yeah.
That's why I asked him like a wand. I'm like, you said 50 charges. I'm like, wait a second. How's that possible?
That'd be an expensive ass fucking
I'm
item.
like, how's that possible, son?
Having a 9th level spell 50 times.
Yo, that shit will cost like over 1 million gold pieces, yo.
No.
50 charges, 9th level
It's
spell.
basically a free foresight once per day with 50 times.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. Because that's why I was like, where's
after 50
in
times?
Character, I was like,
after 50 times it burns out.
I was like, Claudius, if we could do this the whole time.
I know, because he was ready. He was ready to put foresight on everybody.
I was like, yo, Claudius, we wasting our time. Let's just go back home. You and Cynthia sit there, make up magical items for every single high level spell y'all got, and we just go back.
Dude, we'll never have to rest again. We'll take 6 months off, and then we go adventure.
My nigga, you can make an item called the eye of the glowing sun. You keep doing that sunburst shit, spam that shit. I'll make a orb of drowning, and all it does is fucking drown the flood shit I did before. We just keep spamming that.
For real.
If it was that easy, shit.
Oh, bullshit, Louis. I thought this was like part of like the story, like Timora, Lenin, and A. So the party indicators they all have been blessed with foresight. I thought it was gonna be like some epic like inclusion.
I mean, technically it is, but for one person. So put it on somebody who needs to know what danger's gonna befall them.
Man, that's just hilarious. I thought they fucking.
I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to put it on himself. He can put it on.
Put it on
Metzor and have it go.
I was about to be like, yo,
Metzor here. Now start walking. You're our bait.
He's always a stranger being hit by stuff.
No, the two best candidates either Cynthia or Claudius. But I was gonna cast it on the entire party, man. That would have
been ready.
But later, you're about to get freaking double team. Claudius
cast
will go ahead and
9th level spells, right? 6 9th level spells, right?
Hell yeah, I was gonna cast it. It's party effort, man. Cast it on everyone.
I think again, I hate to say it, but we should. If we're always forced into a situation where we have to hedge our bets, where we have to take all of our eggs and put it in one basket. My vote is to put it in the basket that has the most versatility. Because if you put it in a basket that only has one option, if that option is not provided, then we're fucked. So, in this case, we only have one foresight. We should put on the one person that we know that has a lot of options that can use it the most. And that person is Claudius. If Claudius has foresight and he knows exactly what's gonna happen to him, he can free himself up. And Claudius being free allows us to have more options because he casts spells that could help us as a whole, as a party, instead of just one individual person at a time.
Who said that? Malay?
Yes, that's
That's
what
right.
Latham said. If Claudius is free to act, then that means he can cast a spell like Emergency Force Field to protect someone else. And so by protecting Claudius, you've protected multiple people.
That's very logical, and I agree as well. I'm no use if I got it encapsulated in one of my own stone to ice spell. If I could perceive it, this spell would be able to let me know ahead of time if someone were to try to do something like that to me, and thus I'll be able to avoid it. And obviously, if something like this were to happen to everyone here, I'll let Cynthia know to take the appropriate action.
Venom also brings up so far our biggest threats that we have are for the most that are obvious to all of our adversaries are Metsuar and Xyno. Not Xyno so much because not too many are familiar with the power that Scarlet has, but many are very familiar with Metsuar because he's Metsuar. He's glowing and he's obvious about how powerful he is. But those two are our front runners in power. So as long as we're in battle, our enemies most likely, if they're not smart, are going to focus on those two people and leave Claudius alone, which would be to their detriment. But for those enemies that are very smart, like the Cagewrights, they're most likely going to go after Claudius first. Well, fortunately for us, that leaves our big hitters open. That means that they're probably going to do something to incapacitate our big hitters while they focus on Claudius. So something like Foresight will help Claudius in that moment, who will free up our big hitters to protect him from those who are targeting him.
You're actually scaring me, Valena. I don't really like being the center of attention. Makes me want to cast an invincibility spell on myself now. He chuckles. I'll leave the center stage for our esteemed colleague Messor, the mighty, the shining beacon. Yes,
Me? I'm only as strong as the people next to me. We're all the same strength.
But then Claudius gets serious. He looks at Valentinum and then Messor. Either or, magic does have its limitation. I will count on both of you to keep me safe if magic does fail.
Claudius, I will always be your shield. Even though Bladen has a real shield, I'll still be a shield too.
Apparently, he has enough shields as it seems. He looks over at the shield guardian. Very shielded, it seems. Very shielded.
Dare say there's always a possibility. Anti-magic field effect. Fortunately, we haven't faced any of that. But there's plenty of ways to counter spellcasters like Cynthia and myself. Hopefully we don't encounter no that magic zone or some such machinations. I'm always thinking of the worst possible case scenario. Have to keep ahead. That's where this hunk of metal will serve its purpose to protect me if that were to happen. He's pointing towards the shield guard.
So now that we have the ability to summon creatures, why don't we get some scouts going?
I do have a particular spell in my. He starts fumbling. His scrolls, and let me see, where is it? I don't actually have it in my spell, but this spell will be very beneficial at the moment. You see, he starts looking around. Here it is. Prying Eyes. Never used this spell before, but it should be very helpful. Yeah, he's myself gonna look it up. I know that's a scroll that I've been having for a while, Lewis. Prying Eyes?
Yeah.
Okay. You're probably gonna use it. Might as well be done.
So Valentum goes, this is good. With that gem that we have, if you can summon a fire elemental, even if it's weak, that's fine. You can send it out into the field from this point, hold down this area and secure it. Send the fire elemental out into the field. While the fire elemental is out doing the recon, you can use your magic to see through its eyes. Whatever it encounters is probably going to die to, but that's fine. Whatever it dies to, we'll know where it's located. You can teleport directly there, handle the whatever the threat is, and then from there secure that area, summon another creature, and move out from there. From there, because we're able to use your magic to monitor through the creature's eyes, we're also covering the ground, and we're able to map out the area without actually putting ourselves physically in any harm.
Right. Oh, these eyes. I'm gonna put it over here. I'm gonna put it so you can read it, because you probably have enough spellcraft to understand it. So so Claudius, in layman terms, he describes that to the party, Valenum, and the rest of the party, that he has that ability, that spell. Basically, he could summon a whole bunch of eyes. They're very small, and they have a high check. Mm-hmm. So we could spy every other room, as long as it's within 1 mile from where we at. 1 mile, I think, is a long range. We could explore a lot. Mm-hmm. And then after a set amount, then the eyes will return back to us, and then we'll get an image of everything that the eyes saw. There's always a possibility some of the eyes could get destroyed too.
Okay, well that's better than some. That's exactly what we're looking for.
Very good spell, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. In 10 or more levitating eyes. Casting time 1 minute, so it'll take 10 rounds. But we got time now, and duration is 1 hour per level. So we could use that thing to be scouting everywhere. And we have,
That's pretty much exactly what Vlado was asking for. He thought he was trying to cobble it together with the summon fire elemental and
Check this out, Watson. He could create 1d4 plus caster level. His caster level is 25, so he could create 25 plus 1d4 eyes. So that's almost up to 29 eyes that you can cast. Send them everywhere, yo. Wait,
this
never mind.
Is way better, son.
Scroll. Never mind. I don't have it. I don't know the spell myself. It's a scroll, but still though, it's still at least 10.
Yeah. Yo, this is way better than I fucking had to work with before. I thought all I had was summon fire elemental and fucking 7 eyes or something, or some sort of divination spell. Now you got this shit. This makes it even way easier.
Yeah, that shit makes it crazy, right?
All right. Well, if they're dumb enough to destroy an eye, we teleport directly to a location, body them, and teleport back.
Right.
Let's go, son.
It's a whole bunch of eyes. So even let's say we send 4 to one certain location. Even if 2 gets destroyed, maybe 1 or 2 will escape and give us info. So we know where to teleport or what to expect when we teleport.
Right.
I mean, that teleport like we did here was clutch because we teleport right in the middle and just started freaking going all out.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what they were planning to do, right? Just keep sending summons to us down there forever. Mm-hmm. And with all that trap and the little metal thing in the ground, it's going to be hard for us to just get over it. So we just bypass all that crap.
Right. I legit thought I was going to have you keep summoning creatures and sending them out now that we had a secure point. Now that we fucking got this spell, let's go, son.
You got Mr. Genius in your party. You know he has something for everything.
That's swear to God. It's like Tony Stark and Captain America really legit working together.
Mm-hmm. Captain America.
Thor, get out of here.
For real, you are Thor. Either he's Thor or Hulk, one of the two.
What was it?
Thor, Hulk.
Oh, Thor and Hulk.
We all know who's Hawkeye in the group.
Fucking Hawkeye.
That nigga said, what is it?
Who's smarter, Thor or Hulk? Who's smarter, Thor or Hulk?
Oh, no, Thor. Unless he's Banner. Thor's smarter.
Yeah, unless...
No, I'm not talking about Banner. I'm saying Hulk. Who's smarter, Hulk or Thor?
Thor is definitely smart.
Thor is smart. But if Hulk chooses to let Banner in his head, while he's
The
home.
man is much more. Actually, Hulk
The
is
whole
pretty
Banner
smart too.
comedy.
Like,
I forgot what it's called.
Hulk's like stupid though.
Professor Hulk. Yeah, Professor Hulk was.
So, all right.
So he's casting that spell, Louis. Are we going back to the middle room, or are we staying where we at?
Well, I think we still react because now it would force them to teleport to us. Since you're gonna take that long to cast that spell, consider it cast forbiddance. Because that will prevent not forbiddance, zone of respite. That prevents anyone from teleporting directly into us. We don't want that happening.
Or we could go out to
Wait, how's he casting prying eyes?
From a scroll.
a scroll.
Oh, scroll. I was gonna use the scrolls caster though.
Right, no, no.
Oh, okay.
Is there a way I could learn it now and just cast it from a spellbook or no?
Man,
That would take
you
take 2 days.
I was say you have to write it in your spellbook.
have to be a wizard or a sorcerer.
I have a high level version of the spell, man. I think it's a level 7 version.
There's a high level version.
It has like true sight. It has true seeing, I think, on it.
What?
Yeah, it has true seeing, see darkness.
Greater
invisibility.
prying eyes.
Damn, so that's the ultimate scout ability right there.
Yeah,
So.
I gotta get
All
that
right, so
spell.
it'd be 1d4 plus 9.
Oh, it's still good. 1d4 plus 9? Alright.
All right, look. Well, since my boy since Macaulius takes out that.
So he's got 13 eyes. Now the 13 eyes take about a minute to cast.
Yeah.
13 eyes came out, semi-tangible, visible, magical orbs. So you guys see these orbs about this, like the size of marbles.
Can I cast invisibility spells on them or not?
Up here.
While he's casting that, I'm
no, this is a spell effect. You can't cast this.
Yeah.
I'll take
And it's hard to spot them, right? Sort of?
Huh?
Because they got high.
These eyes move out, scout around, and return as you direct them. Each eye can see 120 feet with normal vision in all directions. They're quite fragile. Each is a fine.
Hey, that's a long vision, 120 feet.
Each
That's
eye,
pretty long.
yeah. Each eye is a fine construct, about the size of a small apple. So, I guess those crab apples as you see in the trees are about that size.
Lewis is on what's my background?
I got 1 hit point. Hold on. Let me finish.
Hold on, Darren.
They have 1 hit point, AC 18, flies at 30 feet, perfect maneuverability, plus 16 stealth, plus caster level. What the caster level is? It has plus 9 perception. It's subject to illusions, darkness, fog, and any other factors that would affect your ability to receive visual information. If they're stuck traveling through darkness, it has to find its way around by touch. Now that the eyes have been created, you must specify instructions you want them to follow in a command of no more than 25 words.
Why don't you just put it on Mentor?
13 eyes.
More than 25 words?
Yeah.
Any knowledge you possess is known by the eyes as well.
Yeah.
Really?
Damn.
So that means if they see a spell effect, they will know because the eye know.
Mm-hmm.
They'll know not to go through a freaking wall
Right,
of fire.
like if they see a wall of fire and you know what, they'll know not to just travel through the wall of fire.
Okay.
Yeah, we should put him on Mentor and have Mentor do this. He's the best tank. I mean, not the best tank, but obviously against my history, but Mentor has the most agile defense.
Why would you send Mentor when you could just send a summon creature? Send something expendable. Use drones.
You saying we should have Mesua?
Oh.
Mentor is like volunteering to go. Like, we have so many drones to use. Why do you volunteer?
He called these drones.
We have so many expendable summoned creatures. We literally just got a summon fire creature that cannot fight anything here. So, like, he just has
you never send in the cavalry first.
why is this volunteer? Let me go. Like, relax, my God.
Relax, man.
You're a monk. You're a barbarian.
Yo, listen, we do it. Every good army has an intelligence, section. We do an intelligence work now.
Mentor is a highlight person.
That intel.
Yeah, we gotta get that intel, man.
All right, so Cynthia takes out her scroll of scroll number.
Get your 25 words ready.
Scroll case number 9.
All right.
Widen zone of respite. 15th level cast. Oh,
She's casting it where? Where they're at?
because we're gonna be there for a bit, just to keep people from not teleporting in on us.
Lewis Mez is gonna pour some ale on Zino's wound and try to patch him up a little bit more. Because he's all fucked up.
You're gonna do what?
pour some ale on Zion's wound and see if I can patch him up.
There, you making a heal check?
Yeah. How you making a check? Ale, bro.
That's some special.
I'll help with that heal check.
That's some dope ass ale,
I got infinite ale. What you mean?
Are you trained in heal?
Yeah, +9, bro. I don't understand why we have an angel.
You have no ranks in heal. You got +10. He has +10.
You go to fucking Vladim's temple all the time. You put no ranks in heal. Damn.
Nigga, still +10 is good. Luke will tell you +10. That's better than average. Oh my god. I mean, come on, Luke. Chime in, nigga. That's what you usually say.
Yeah, it's better than average based on your own ability. It doesn't mean you actually try to learn how to heal. It's just you just guesswork, nigga. You're just naturally good at that shit right now.
Shut the fuck up.
You just no formal training, nigga. The nurse was like, "Let me teach you how to do a sutra." He's like, "Nah, chill, fuck out of here, bitch. I want another punch." Damn, son! All that natural ability, get the fuck out of here! This nigga never learned a day in his life, son. They're good at it. Take a good look, ladies and gentlemen. Take a good look. Look at this bullshit, son. They got a +29, no ranks in this shit. This thing is
treat deadly wounds.
Unlike this cleric who's sitting there just looking at niggas like talking about spells while niggas bleeding up for him. This bitch over here. You're not even paying attention to this nigga bleeding behind the right 5 feet from you.
What did he roll?
19
plus 10, so 29. Hold on. He doesn't have a healing kit, so he has a -4 penalty to this. That's 25.
Still pretty good.
That's still good as shit, though. This thing got no ranks.
Treat deadly wounds is DC 20, and you got 25. All right. You have restored. He actually helped him restore another 18 hit points. Oh no! Wait. If you exceed, hold on. If you exceed the DC by 5 or more, at your wisdom, 28 hit points.
Look at that, son. That's better heals than what you got for the back.
Basically, you see Mitsuha, he takes the ale and he's like, starts pouring it on the wounds. But as he pours it on, like, you notice, like, it starts to sparkle with, like, saintly energy.
I was about to say, ain't no regular. Nobody heals people with beer, nigga. Like, you want some magic shit like that.
Nah, nigga, I was figuring it out.
I appreciate it, Mentor.
You pour in beer on wounds.
You got a heal with a heal check, man.
Get the fuck out of here.
An untrained heal check. He just had the wisdom. He had the high wisdom to know how it works. Like, if I pour this alcohol,
my next 2 levels.
it will course through his veins.
These
and because this particular alcohol has a chemical in it that can.
I don't want to hear that. What's gonna happen?
Charlo's out again.
It's his next 2 levels. I'm maxing heal rank.
This guy has 28 hit points. No, it only does it once. Is it once per day? Once every 24 hours, you can do it.
Oh, okay. No.
So there goes over to Mentor says, don't feel too good about stuff about this.
Once per day,
got
yeah.
lucky
You
this
expend
time.
too.
Why you always
got lucky. I can tell that you were unskilled in what you did. I don't know how, but you.
20.
Zino says sometimes that's all you need is a little luck.
Damn.
That was a lot of luck from what I saw. I don't know. I didn't see any skill, but you made it work, and it worked very, very well. I've never seen
luck is all you need.
I've never seen you with that full learning how to do this formally, but your informal, impromptu,
his demigod like intuition taught him.
Yo, I can never believe she.
He's got. Look at his wisdom
everything
though.
you were supposed to do.
Look at his
being
wisdom.
told.
Wisdom of 30. That's demigod.
I watched you, and I didn't have anything I could say to you. You did everything perfectly.
He's got higher wisdom. He's got higher wisdom than most of the
how to do it.
He's got higher wisdom than most of the avatars in the fucking Forgotten Realms.
But I'm curious, dear Earthbringer, what allows you such access to deeper secrets? I can't roll.
He said I can't even roll for it.
So, you know what? Skip it, because I can't.
Skip it. That's just one question she won't want answered. All the knowledge she has, she don't even.
Dude, you don't understand. Cynthia is built on knowledge. She's a walking library. She studies everything. Her whole life is dedicated to this shit.
So why you ain't rolling your
sit here and roll that in front of her face, and she knows because she's a fucking cloister cleric that you didn't put any ranks in that shit. To see you get that score, she's like, no.
Okay, no. All right, no. You ready? No. Yeah, no.
Reached into a different level, son.
You want it? No, hold on. It's I'll explain it. No, I'll explain it. I'll explain it. Metzor has proven to have great wisdom, and with the enhanced magic of. I'm trying to help out here. With the enhanced magic of the headband of perfect self, he's attained the wisdom of the gods. Now, with this, he sees the wounds on Zino.
Preach.
He places his hand upon the wounded gunslinger. He inspects his wounds, and he starts to. So you see Metzor start to meditate. As he, and then you start to see Ki slightly reverberate from Metzor. And as it seems as if he's intuitively sensing the life force of Zino. And as if he can somehow. He's somehow trying to like sense parts of his life force.
From Mez always touching people, he knows what the body can do.
Can you let me finish?
From Mez always touching people.
Anyway, Saint Metzor, with his earthly celestial abilities to help enhance his meditative insight into Zion's life. He then takes out some of his alcoholic brew, and he kind of like how a priest would sprinkle, like holy water upon like a baptized child. He sprinkled some of it upon the wounds of Zina, and he also tells Zino, to like calm yourself and focus on, like he helps him like get into a sort of a breathing exercise.
My hill chick didn't mean shit.
And as he gets to his breathing exercise, Metzor finishes dabbling the alcohol, and the spots where the alcohol threw it on it burnt because they're on open wounds. But he's like he tells him to calm. The burn is more of a purge to create you vitality that you have underneath and bring it forward. Your body do the work for you. As this sort of like a ritual goes on, that's what steps back and asks Zino, how do you feel? And Zino, you feel very, not completely whole. You've taken a lot of, you suffered a lot of fatigue and damage, but you felt like it works a lot. Like whatever Metzor did, it
Lewis, look at what's his face as he's looking at you like,
hey, so
shit.
This is acceptable to me. This actually makes sense.
I'm getting a little upset. I got Verizon Files, and my internet speed now is supposed to be up to 980 Mbps. I've never seen internet that fast ever in my existence in my life.
Yo, I got
They
mine
have
fast.
I get my shit. I had to reset it right now. What the fuck is going on?
It's not the
I ain't
internet.
gonna
It's your probably your PC.
Computer
Yeah,
might
because
can't
I
handle
have the same thing.
Oh, the router was bouncing red. I just reset the router now. So I'm like,
Then call them.
it's good now because even in the PlayStation, it said my speed is now like 500 Mbps.
Oh no!
I didn't even know a PlayStation 4 could go that fast.
Nah, nigga, that means. But nah, you missing the detail. Cynthia was hating on my hair.
Yeah, no, Zion, yeah, you feel a lot more refreshed than you did earlier. Not to, just a minute ago.
There's a 25-word limit, right, for the command? There it is.
This guy had to inspect all quarter and rooms that's readily accessible. As soon as you discover any sentient beings, Cagewrights or apprentices, report back to me immediately.
They know my knowledge, so they know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm not sending them all to the same spot. So I'm going to pair them by twos. There's going to be one odd out. One's going to be a team of 3, I guess. The reason I'm going to pair them for 2 because they easily could get destroyed. So hopefully one could escape while the other one becomes,
Yo, does Cynthia have heal ranks? What heal ranks you got?
What happened? You weren't able to heal Sinal?
Yeah, no, he did.
I heal with 20 HP.
20 HP?
28.
Wow. With a heal check?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I thought you needed divine magic.
That reaction that you have right now is the same reaction I had, except I did it in character.
I know you stabilize, and there's even a skill trick. You can.
This is the first time that Cynthia has actually witnessed why Metsuar is an actual saint. This is what makes Metsuar a saint. The rest of that shit didn't mean it because this was an actual miracle. This nigga pulled beer out of a fully dressed mojito out of his pocket. poured it on Zyno's arm, and Zyno is healed.
Wasn't even an arm. He baptized him with that
This nigga, Cynthia was like, wow, I studied my whole life.
My first level spell couldn't even do this much.
My whole life I studied, nigga. I'm 150 something years old. And I can't.
Lewis,
Show me.
No, she knows. She's got the religion and the heal check.
She ain't no motherfucking saint, though. She don't know how that shit feel, nigga. Pour beer on a nigga and heal up.
Well, she knew the beer wasn't what that was part of a ritual to help him, his body psych itself.
He's gonna have to go confess, man, to a cleric.
No, Lewis, listen, that's why I was also
a cleric.
That's some Jesus shit, nigga.
That's some Jesus.
I'm gonna have to confess for envy.
Now we know why Saint Metsuar, Saint Metsuar, the drunken.
Now you a saint, nigga. Now you
Go to a priest and confess, man.
You weren't no saint before, nigga. You were just powerful, but now you a saint.
If you read Lewis, Metsuar was. I wanted to use a Servant of the Heavens on that roll too, which gives it a +1 luck bonus.
To the skill check?
Yeah.
Oh, it
doesn't do anything
extra. It just had to be DC 20. No.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'll do it.
It was DC 20. You got DC 25. If you beat it by 5, then you heal, and you heal up to your wisdom modifier on top of the.
Okay.
He heals his level, and then you heal. Then you added your wisdom modifier to that. What happened?
That's what that shit healed. So that nigga was like,
he healed 28.
I don't know what happened, but I appreciate it.
You nigga sound like he still get the Kellogg's. Nigga, I feel right. Yeah, you just missing bad HP. That shit was a lot. 30 is like a cure critical wounds over.
It's funny because I did a cure moderate and like nobody said anything. I'm like, oh, it's cool. I got it.
You did cure moderate wounds. That shit did nothing cure. I did nothing.
I was like, all right, it's cool.
Oh yeah, you had that bleeding damage, right?
Yeah, he was
I
taking.
healed
Well,
that.
he healed
already.
that. Cynthia healed that earlier, but he was taking a lot of damage originally because of.
Cynthia looks at Metro like, what the fuck kind of demon are you, or angel?
I expect the sign to tell Master, well, there you go. You wanted me to get hurt. There you go.
I would never want you to get hurt. That's a lot of characters, though. Just
That's why I never say anything because I know it's like
You gotta ask me like people
I
staring.
never wanted to really get hurt out of character. I'm gonna, this nigga never get touched. In character, I would never want to get hurt. Is he missing mana? What is that blue bar?
Well, now that we know you can do that, we'll have to keep that on handy for the next go.
So niggas got mana in this game now? Or is that temporary HP? That little
Temporary.
blue bar?
Not enough mana.
So how did your real HP go down if your temporary was so high?
I don't know where I got the temporary HP.
Whatever.
He got it from Nidrama. She can do 8.
Okay.
She can do 8 at will.
You mean to tell me that she saw my HP and she's like, dog, here's some temporary.
Yeah, better heal.
She's been doing that. She's been doing that on everyone after every fight.
What's the Jones here?
It's good top of food.
Right.
It's like a refresh.
It's an extra. Yeah, she can give everybody an extra 11 to 15. No, an extra 11 to 18 points of the temporary HP.
Oh, how long my last? How long my last?
All day. Lewis is my own. Which one going back?
Wow, she's been doing. Like I was saying, she's been doing it after every fight. Oh,
Yeah, she hasn't done it to me.
She's done it to everybody.
She's
She's done it to you. It stacks.
I know it stacks. Give me that temporary HP. So
I did. It's part of your 61. It should be.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
That's what it says the 40 is.
Oh, okay.
I think you should put Mighty Wallop on it. That magic.
Yeah, she's done it to everybody. Millennium's got 14.
Oh, yeah, you made the Mighty Wallop, aren't you?
Yeah, you can cast that while we're doing this.
I thought you didn't need that spell no more. Y'all heard it, right? He's asking for it.
I didn't ask for it.
Y'all trying to say it's Claudius. That y'all trying to say it's Claudius. It's him. He's the one like, yo, let me get that. Yo, it's like a crack feed, so he said dick to the You good, man. You got sight to do mad damage now, man. We don't need that no more. Yo, Meso's about to cry. Nah, just kidding. I'm like, this guy stays silent. He's like, yo, don't do that, Claudia. Yo, let me see what I can do for you, man. Hold on, let me look at my spells, man. You need to stop getting the spell, man.
He's addicted to that damage, yo. Addicted to that damage.
He's addicted to that damage.
I just want to kill a dragon in one punch one more time, please. Please hit me with that good shit one time, please.
Valena, you still have all your Mighty Wallops, right?
I think so, yeah.
And Cynthia too. Cynthia also too. You want her to put in her mace or whatever she uses or staff.
Yeah, she has a staff. Although I don't think she ever gets within range to use that shit though.
Yeah. Claudius has to have his staff too, because he did like a chain spell. Like he did Mighty Wallop on everything. Just like with the greater magic weapon that we have.
Mm-hmm.
That he used to feat. Dude, man, my magic is mad low, man. So you really need it, man? Of course he does. Dude, it's a level 3 spell. I probably got to use one of my level 6 slots to cast that shit. That shit is a premium now, man. I used up all my low level spells. It's in debating. I mean, that's what I do. Mad damage does prevent the rest of us having to spend more resources than necessary, though. So, I mean, that's how.
Oh, the torch lit. Okay.
Yo,
all right, so you sending awesome. you sending the so you suck.
I didn't know you could heal people. That's pretty.
So you send the eyes out. The eyes they fly forward.
Sets of 2 and one of them sets of 3. And then I'll go to the same place, by the way, Lewis. Can I send them to how many places are there?
Well, you can send some here. And you can send
where, to the south?
I'm highlighting it right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, up this way and up that way.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta do that. Damn, all that fucking was gone.
That was the plan.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought maybe this place was that big. I thought it was just like 2 little rooms left.
See which one's
Imagine you trying to buy furniture for this place, but the nearest city is like 70 miles away. That was like a lot of work.
Now we go past all that travel time directly to the encounter.
Yeah.
What's the size of this? Oh, it's fine sized. Okay. Yeah, they're able to. They have normal vision, but they're able to see because so far everything's lit by torchlight.
Nice.
Like Big Trouble in Little Chinatown, that fucking those beholders that floating around back in the day. That nigga be seeing.
Lewis, since they have Claudia's knowledge, can they do a stealth check?
Nah, they just know.
If you
they
tell them
spells.
to go in, you gotta command them to move stealthily. Otherwise, they're just gonna.
Oh, but if they move stealthily, that means they move slower though.
They'll be moving slower if that's stealth. They'll be moving at. They'll be
No.
flying at 15-foot speed.
I'd rather they move at their full speed. Not only that, it's not like they're walking or anything. They're just like hovering.
They're basically gonna, doing what they're told. They're going where they can, and then
yeah, that's good.
and then coming back. Where obviously wherever they can't go, they just don't go. They go somewhere else.
Right. They just keep moving around. Yeah.
And then I'll be giving you all the information as soon as I figure out which places they can get into.
Take your time.
They can get there. What is that? They could fit through that. They're fine sized. What are you? 13.
13, right? You roll max of 4. Yo, Louis, imagine if Clarice Castle just saw himself, man. That would have been 29 eyes.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna learn this spell. It's 29 eyes.
That's why he sees all his eyes because he sees his 300 feet or something like that. Like Drake.
A 3-level boost just for prime eyes greater, level 8? What the hell?
All right.
Just for true seeing? That's too much.
Inspect all solutions discovered. Okay, I gotta cover some stuff back up. Cover this back up. Reasons for that. Okay. Out of the 13 eyes, 3 came back.
Hey, okay. Yep.
3 came back, and they reported to you this. Alright, so it's here are their visual findings. In this area that was further up ahead,
Okay.
from where your characters were.
Are you guys paying attention? Because I was going to relate this to you guys.
Yeah.
So pay attention to
In this area right here, further down the corridor, further where your characters were you could travel to next. There was a 6-foot tall black marble statue that stands at the end, which your characters were able to see while they were fighting, but they didn't really go up there to check it out in detail. But the eyes did. At the end of this 15-foot wide, well, it's not a 15-foot wide hall. That's more of a 25-foot wide hall. The 25-foot wide hall facing west. The statue's facing west, depicts a humanoid creature with subtle saint-like features, clad in a black robe and wearing a coronet. One outstretched hand it grasps a viper, and its other outstretched hand has an unblinking eye set into its palm, staring blindly down the passageway. Behind the statue is a 5-foot deep, empty alcove. So, basically the statue looks like the mural painting on the pillar that your characters had activated. So, it looks similar. So it's clearly a statue of Sithar.
Okay.
One of the Cagewrights the first Cagewright you took down. The statue appears to be fixed to the floor. Obviously can't be lifted up unless somebody were to push you over. Can't be lifted or pushed over without breaking it off the floor. That was never. They some of the eyes had gone in here, and the eyes that went in here. Luckily, one of them, one out of the 3 that survived, was the one that had gone in this room. Went past these pillars and into this room, this large, very large room, the chamber. It's a large, massive chamber that has slimy black walls of bits of painted plaster clinging to them. And around the base of the walls lay the broken fragments of murals. 4 pieces of furniture rested in the middle of the room. Wooden cot, monstrous wooden chest with claw-like feet, table covered with clay jars and lit candles, a wooden chair draped with skin.
What the fuck? What type of cans?
It looked like the chest had a built-in superior lock. The 12 clay canopic jars appear to be splattered with dried blood. Obviously, the eyes weren't able to open them to see what was inside. Coupled with lit candles inside this chamber, there's a table there that serves as a morbid altar to what appears to be
while Claudius is describing this to everyone, he uses a predestination spell to visualize the spell in the room. So everyone could also visualize what Claudius' eye also saw as well.
Nice. Told you, man, Tony Stark, yo.
Yeah, so it's not just him telling you. You guys actually seeing everything that was seen.
That's what it's horrified. Not from fear, but the fact that something like that exists.
the altar appears to be an altar from Claudius's knowledge dedicated to the god of murder, or the former god, one would say, to Baal.
Baal.
However, among the altar, confusingly, or maybe not, there appears to be like symbols in blood and etched onto the table of the smoking eye as well.
Shit,
the only one of the Cagewrights your characters know to have been a servant, the god of murder and death and slaughter, would be Alirad, the Great Knight, the anti-paladin Great Knight, the Blackguard. This appears to be his own chamber, personal chamber, and but he's currently not.
He's currently not there.
But they did report. They originally reported what was in that. As they got here, however, that was when they were attacked.
Okay. Well, did any of those attack that went there?
The ones that, yeah, like I said, 2 of them. I mean, 3 of them came back out of the 13.
Okay.
There were a bunch of pillars in that room. All the pillars, having the same, murals of Yuan-Ti and other, the obvious snake-like theme. That's plastered almost everywhere. They were attacked very, very suddenly, swiftly, and quickly, but they were able to see what it was. A very leaf, shadowy humanoid being with glowing, which would appear to be a dark violet glow of like psychic energy, wielded as if it was a pair of spiked chains, and it had came from around one of the pillars and just started attacking all the eyes, just smashing as many as it could.
Like a soul blade?
Yeah. it appeared to be one of the eyes that had escaped. Caught a, was able to catch its movements and a glimpse of its face, and you can tell here it's Xokek, the Shadow Archive, Soul Knife. His facial expression seemed very irritated. On top of that, there were two other humanoid beings that were in there as well, attacking some of the prying eyes out of sheer joy. However, their humanoid appearance is where anything resembling a humanoid ends. No, not quite. It is from the visual appearance that Claudius received. It's definitely an extraplanar. You can tell it's definitely an extraplanar creature. And so far, they were able to make out two of them. They're considerably very powerful extraplanar beings. At least very powerful, among the very powerful of its kind. They look lean and quick looking, just like Xokek. And they resemble two-legged frogs with dappled gray skin coloring and fingers that are long and clawed, standing as tall as a human. Roll a knowledge planes.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I gotta rip on my count sheet again. And I'll reset it.
I'll get your answer. Make that roll. Lewis, if he rolls wrong, then I use two key points to make a reroll. Oh, wait, it's a attack and save.
You said knowledge planes, right?
Yeah.
Charlotte's new name is. What was the planeswalker we like back in the day? Baron. Yeah. So you're Baron.
What was that?
That's remember the planeswalker we like to measure together in Baron?
Oh, yeah, it was Urza's friend, right? Baron?
Mm-hmm.
I cannot do that, right, Louis?
No.
Okay.
But your signals are on, so I think you have a 2. So plus 18. 35.
You got a 35?
35. Well, what you recognize are beings known as slots. Slots within the chaotic planes that seethe and roil with random energy and bits of matter, a place known by many names, one such name being Limbo. From the plane of Limbo, weaving their way amid this cacophony of light and sound and energy, are a race of extraplanar beings that sages believe aren't really originally native to the plane, but have moved there eons ago. Possibly from the world of Toro itself. It's been theorized, and became a race of chaotic humanoid frog-like beings known as Slats, or Slotty for plural. These creatures of chaos are likened to humanoid toads, but that description belies their agility and fearsome fighting prowess. They are known to speak their own language, as well as common, and these particular Slotty can also communicate telepathically. The type of Slad before you is known as a Death Slad. Slatty generally attack with their claws and bites. They relish melee combat, but they're savvy enough to use their summoning and other spell-like abilities to good effect. Their natural weapons, as well as any weapons they wield, are treated as chaotic aligned for the purpose of overcoming damage reduction. Have resistance to acid 5, acid, electricity, cold, fire, all 5, and they're immune to sonic damage. Sladdies are known to possess the ability to summon other Slad creatures. It's not 100% effective. There are chances of it failing, but it's possible they can summon more. However, they don't use it lightly. They are generally distrustful and fearful of one another. The Sladdy Society has quite a very extreme pecking order. Most Sladdy rarely have the focus to devote themselves to specific professions, although the Gray Slads sometimes are known to become sorcerers, whereas Death Slads train as rogues or assassins, or anything, or slayers, or anything that can aid its combat abilities for it to deserve its moniker of a name. The Slads are color coded in a sense. There's reds, there's blues, there's greens, grays. The Death Slad, however, are strong naturally. Just the basic Death Slad. Strong as ogres, quicker than cats. They have the endurance of a giant. Extremely intelligent, and high wisdom, high charisma. How much did you beat the DC by? What you got? 35.
35.
I'll give you 3 things about. First, I'll tell you that the Death Sladdies are Gray Slads that have undergone some mysterious ritual that transforms them into veritable killing machines. They have spell-like abilities just like the Gray Slads. Death Slads focus more on killing than on magical power. They look almost exactly like Gray Slads. Almost all Slads obey the command of a Death Slad. That's how high up in the chain of command that they are.
Oh, so they're like the fucking.
But they do so out of fear more than anything else. The Death Slads.
It's like a case. It's like a case system, and then like on top of
It's like a caste system that they have. Yeah. For such a chaotic race of extraplanar beings, there's
like when
there's a sense of order when it comes to the strength of a Slad.
Like a vampire in real life runs to an older vampire and they just bow down to him.
Yeah, it would be similar to like a vampire pecking order.
So like, I'm older than you. Don't get by it.
An organization. What little they have. Death Slads represent the corruption of pure chaos by evil, rather than true exemplars of it. Most Slads are chaotic neutral in nature. They're they don't really lean towards good or evil. It's an extremely rare exception if one does. However, the Death Slads are different than the rest of them, whereas they do tend to lean on the evil side.
So we have to do is kill the Death Slad and then let the other ones burn away?
Although its prowess with natural weapons is fearsome, they enjoy wielding magic weapons if available. They have the ability to change shape, assuming any humanoid form. Clearly, the ones that your prying eyes saw, they didn't choose to take a humanoid form. They felt comfortable just staying in their Death Slad forms. They're able to summon Slads just like anybody else. Summon red or blue Slads or green ones with a less chance of success. They have the ability to make attacks that are so detrimental to the body when struck. It's possible it can cause your body to become stunned for a short period of time, rendering you nigh helpless during that time. So they have a stun ability. They also possess many spell-like abilities. A few of which that Claudius can remember are Powered Blind, a Circle of Death. They can see invisibility. They can fly. Create magical darkness, and even cause a creature to implode itself. There you go. That's just as much information as he can recall. Again, that's from Claudius's understanding of the basic, nature of the Death Slab. Hopefully, in Claudius's mind, hopefully for the sake of your party, these Death Slabs aren't specialized or further advanced than the rest of their kind. If so, that would be a problem. An extra problem to add. It would be an extra problem to add on top of what they can naturally do.
So Claudius relates all this information to the party. And that's that. Was there someone here also as well, Louis? I'm putting myself.
No, it was just a statue here. Let me.
Just a statue? Nothing in the statue behind, right?
There was an empty 5-foot alcove behind the statue. Like, hold on, I'll put the statue up there first.
Okay. And none of the eyes went in there, right? To the alcove. Is an alcove like a room?
I like how I put statue using the fucking Statue of Liberty. Alright, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna draw a Alright, so that there. This orange box is the statue. What the eyes were able to make out was, as for behind it, they can make out like an empty space back there, but that was it.
Okay. Alright, there you have it. We have an empty room here that belongs to a blackguard. Somebody's equipment might be there. The statue here. Don't really know if there's anything behind that statue there. And then that's where the Cagewright, where his Slot's followers are at. And they're in this vicinity. And the eyes were only able to tell him and 2 of the Slots. And nothing else, right? Because we weren't able to see the rest. If there is anything else.
Yeah, they had followed your command to turn right back the minute they encountered.
Exactly. So it's a possibility there might be more than just that lone Cagewright in those 2 slots. There might be even more personnel in that room.
Well, we should definitely check the. I would say we should check the rooms in which we know there were no one there first. Maybe there may be something in those rooms that could help us. Or would you guys like to just go straight into the fight with whoever destroyed our eyes?
In this situation, teleporting in the mist would not be to our advantage. It's a very confined room, and they have the place pretty much down lock. That main Cagewright uses a a chain spike weapon that anyone around him would he could easily entangle and trip. So we're better off just if we are going to engage, we're better off for this particular match, actually marching up there through the main hall where we were at before.
Right.
If you would like to make a slight detour and head to the left, we could barricade ourselves there and check what else might be in that room. They'll obviously probably hear us though, or they'll see all these lights emanating. He points towards your like holy lights, and they'll probably come engage us, or better yet, they probably might stay put. Those pillars in that room will work on their advantage.
We put our feelers out, and we felt something. So we should return in kind. Definitely should return in kind and deal with that threat immediately. Only because since they encountered your eye, they know that we're aware of their location.
Oh no! Before the eyes, I'm surprised they never interfered when we were fighting the summoner. They were obviously in the room right over. They heard all the calamity. But
I'm not so surprised based on Cynthia's intel.
Yet they chose not to interfere. Yeah, the Cagewrights are a very odd lot. They don't seem to fight together when they should. To our advantage.
Thankfully, yeah. According to Cynthia's intel, most of the Cagewrights are they have their own individual agendas, and they've only come together because they all serve one single purpose together. But
they also
have their own agendas. They're not really in it for each other so much as they are in it for the objective.
They also have a lot of pride. They look down on us. They don't think we're much of a threat. They will soon learn otherwise if they haven't already.
For some of them, like Newland, it's just a game. For others, it's not so much a game at all.
Any enchantments we're about to pass, we do our last preparations now. Should we engage or should we pause?
We should take this time to engage. We know what we're going into. No ambush for us, or at least finally we're on the opposite end of the attack versus defense spectrum. The defenses we've got here. Now
just be mindful that we might not be able to fight for the long haul. We encounter and decimate at least 40% of the forces. So we'll see how this next encounter goes. If once we're successful, we'll have to reassess our resources and whether we should wait it out. Remember, it's not just the battles; it's overall who wins the war towards the end.
Indeed. Speaking of which, as far as ammo for this particular war is concerned, I remember you guys have come across a new wand. So you guys have 3 magic missile wands. While those seem to be good against high-level spellcasters, they're certainly good for fodder, as we've seen that some of the Cagewrights have access to. That summoner guy over there was sending us quite a few people, a lot of foot soldiers to deal with. So magic missiles would be very helpful in getting rid of those kind of things. But as for this shadow bar, this soul knife, according to the intel, it seems to me that he's not one that's heavily armored, very flexible, He seems to rely very much on stealth, guile, and dexterity. For someone who's related to a plane of shadows, having a bright light source is going to be very instrumental in limiting his abilities to do what he likes to do and to fight the way he likes to fight. If you eliminate any hiding places, would be very good. We'll need light against him for sure. And anything that can debilitate his ability to move around freely or to use his dexterity would be a great hindrance to people like him. I would say he's probably the opposite of Gao, whereas Gao would stand there and simply fight through or go through whatever came at her. Seems that the Shadow of our guy is more behind the back kind of tactics. He won't stand there and muscle down and just take it.
So, Claudia is going to cast Shield. That wore off, probably, right?
Casting what? Shield?
Yeah. Last 25 minutes.
25 minutes, yeah.
I don't know. It's still on there, right?
Oh, the one you casted before? It should still be on. Yeah.
Shield should still be on?
Did you cast it earlier?
I cast it earlier.
Yeah, extended shield. Oh, it's like 50 minutes then, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay. And that
yeah, you did an yeah, I think you used your you used your rod for extended version of it.
Oh, okay. And I also used the Pearl of Power to
get it back.
Spell. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Looks like I got all my level 1 spells back. Oh, I'm gonna use my Pearl of Power level 2 to regain my web spell. My level 2 web spell.
Okay. Pearl of Power 2. Alright. Both of them used to get your web back. Web. Web back. So you got 2 webs. Alright.
What happened?
No, I said, alright. I got it. Marked. I marked it.
He's gonna cast so he's gonna go with Foresight, Lewis, from the item.
Alright. Foresight.
And one more spell.
It's got 6 charges left.
He's gonna cast as well battle magic perception. Alright.
I have it marked. He's already had it on.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna mark it on my character sheet, I guess. Alright.
Battle and that last one.
I'll mark it now.
Yeah, I think that was one of the first buffs you got 2 minutes. Yeah, still on.
Yeah, you're right. I haven't marked in my buff, but in my spell list, spell that I casted, for some reason I forgot to put the little star on it. You're right. Yo, Mess, I don't have like no level 3, level 4, level 5 spells, yo. Where the hell's Mess?
He's been gone for a minute, yo.
I ain't noticed when he left.
He's steady. What? Why do I have that twice?
Damn, that sucks. I guess I could use one of my level 7 slots if he really wants that. What's that spell called? Mighty Wallow. Damn, that sucks. A level 3 spell having to cast it in a level 7 slot kind of hurts. I don't got that many high level slots. Yeah, no. He's gonna go for it. Yes, yeah. With all grateful monk. I'm mean, let's put it this way. The way I see it, Mighty Greater Wallop is well deserving of a level 7 slot, I think. Though, at least when it's cast on mass, it just gives him such a power boost. So he's willing to eat that L, not be able to cast that level 7 spell. So Lewis, Claudius is gonna use up one of his he has 2 open slots for level 7. He's gonna use one of them to cast Mighty Greater Wallop on Mesor. That's it. That shit gets a spell. That's it. He's done.
Yeah. You better thank you for that shit. You use up a slot to put that back on.
I know, right?
Alright. Let's see if that buffs it.
That's where I sold everything. I did it. You guys be all right, buddy.
I think everybody's buffs are still on.
Yeah, we can't mess around.
Shit.
If it was a side quest, I'd be like, hell no.
Field of the Archons is off. And then, wow.
All these little scrolls we've been saving up and whatever, I guess this is like the moment to use them, right, guys?
Yeah.
This is like, after this is like downhill. It's like, side quests here or there. And then retirement.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as far as we're concerned, the Vindicators, this is like the last quest. Although Lewis told us this another chapter, but to us, this is like it.
Well, yeah, to the characters, yeah, they.
Right, for the characters.
To them, it's dealing with these Cagewrights and being.
Yeah, he's going all out. He's not, all these resources we've been conserving for months. It's like to use them now against our arch nemesis, the Cagewrights.
Yeah.
What level is heal? Isn't it 6? 6 levels now. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's been 4 years in the making, man. Can't believe we've been playing this campaign 4 years.
It's been a minute, yeah.
Damn. He fucking disappeared and didn't allow to come back. I guess it's a good stopping point.
Yeah. Maybe he said something
He said that his power went out.
Oh, he did?
Power just went out in my complex. GG.
For real. Well, it's a good point to stop. Characters have a mode of engagement.
Well, gents, I'll see you next Monday.
Alright, you'll have a good
Great session. Take a little breather. We're having a combat after combat. We're going to take a little breather. Get out of some intel. It was a good session. Good session.
Gather the fucking
intel. Alright.
And you see your next Cagewright before you.
Yeah. Alright, collect ourselves a little bit.
Hopefully the spellcasters don't got to use too much magic on this guy. He's not a spellcaster. So we got to conserve it because we still have many spellcasters at large.
Man.
We have a sorcerer, and we got to need the spellcaster for them against them. And then also on the freaking Lemondon, if you don't forget his name, he's also a freaking spellcaster. He can cast 2-3 spells per round, I think. His head, I remember his ass. He was casting a spell, then his stupid head, the mole, was casting a spell too. That was cheesy as hell, man.
They call him Dirty DB, yo.
Dirty. Yeah, he's a unique one. He has a weird.
He's a cancer.
There's like a tumor that
That dude cast spells, yo. Like, what the?
Not even like a two-headed, it's just like this tumor, this sentient tumor that's on the side of his face.
That's godlike, man.
It can take it can take its own action, and what it uses it to cast a spell. Or shoot, one of the kids.
Alright, guys.
All right, you have